Hi, this is Andy Wirt with Red One Realty. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great March. I wanted to give you a March real estate market update for Central Ohio. And I love these things. I know they can get a little bit long. I'll try and keep this brief today, but there's some really interesting statistics and things I'd like to share with you. And my main hope is that this can help. I'd like to be your trusted advisor for all things real estate in the Central Ohio area because these numbers indicate things that could be helpful for you as a buyer or seller specifically. And I can help you break down specific stats for your neighborhood or your community or your school system or Franklin County or any of the counties surrounding Franklin County. Kind of go as macro or as micro as you'd like to do. So I do want to share my screen and hop into some really interesting things for what's going on currently. Now, again, these statistics are out at the end of January. So they're January statistics that come out at the end of February. So here we are in early to mid-March. So these are about 5 weeks old or so, but they're the most recent published statistics that are out there. Some really interesting things going on in our area in the early part of the year. And I want you to see this average price point continues to rise, which I think is fascinating. January to January, it's up almost 10%. So if your home, if you listed it last year in January compared to this year in January, theoretically you'd get about 10% more, which is an amazing to see what's happening in property values in our area. So if you're a homeowner, very good news for what's happening in your equity just in the background as your wealth is increasing. The median home sale price in January increased to 286.98. And I thought what was fascinating about that when I was doing some reading is 5 years ago, that same home, that median value would have been 181,500. So over $100,000 of increase over 5 years in that median home price in Central Ohio. Just amazing to see what's happening in values in our area. Great for sellers, again, can be challenging for buyers. I do want you to notice this, however, that days on market have increased about 10%. And that is because there are more new listings, which is good news for the market overall, especially buyers. If you're thinking about buying a home, there is more inventory this year than there was last year. Sellers keep this statistic in mind that months of inventory or the absorption rate is up about 33%. So what that tells me is there are more homes on the market for buyers to choose from. Homes that are listed, priced accurately, and are ready to sell are still selling quickly. Multiple offers over list price. Some of the things that we want to see if you're a seller. But if you're a buyer, there are more homes available. And if a home is not priced correctly, there might be a chance where you're going to get that at around list price or even slightly below. So because of that increased inventory, that is helping buyers, but sellers market still very, very strong. I wanted to show you a statistic that really affects what's happening in our market, and this is national as well as local. But this is a fascinating graphic here in terms of you can see what's happened in interest rates since 2016. So if you go here to this low point right here, really fascinating to look at, rates. Some of us have these rates and we refinance down to these. But this is August 30th of 2021. A 30-year fixed rate was 2.92%. And then we go all the way, which is making my life and anybody in the real estate industry just keeping us up at night is these statistics right here, how much these interest rates are going up, which really affects a buyer's ability to be able to buy and holds the market back from where it's been, especially over the last year, because we can see this high here, 7.91% on last October 23 to 23. But good news for us today is that rates have come down and then kind of course went back up again, but they're on their way down right now. And we are seeing some improvement in that area. So as of today, nationally, the average 30-year fixed rate is 6.85%. So buyers, we have seen just little tiny increases over the last week or so. So if you're out there and you're thinking now's a great time to get into the market because home prices are only going to increase. I'm just telling you, if you're waiting to buy, home prices are not going to go down in Central Ohio. They're only going to go up. So yes, it's hard with today's interest rate, but you still might be in your best interest to buy today as opposed to waiting till next year or down the road because home prices are going to be higher. And then now with those interest rates going down could be a good time. And sellers, early spring market right now, but with those interest rates going down, that's going to mean increased buyer activity. So I think today is a great time to sell as well. I wanted to remind you that I can look at micro stats as I started earlier in any particular neighborhood. So let's say you live in Gahanna schools, and we want to look at statistics for Gahanna City School District. Do the same for the corporation limits of Gahanna or any of the local communities. We can look at statistics of exactly what's happening in your area because it might be slightly different than what's happening in Central Ohio as a whole, and that could give you good information for making decisions as you think about buying or selling. Again, I'd love to be your trusted resource. My name's Andy Wirt. I'm with Red One Realty. My number is 614-578-0676. If I can help you or someone you know navigate all the things that are going on in our market, I'd love to do that. Please give me a call, and I'm so thankful for your referrals as well. Hope you have a great March. God bless. Please let me know if I can serve you in any way.